You are carrying weight that does not belong to you, not just on the outside, not just in the number on the scale that you avoid looking at some mornings, but on the inside in an organ you cannot see, cannot feel directly, and probably never think about until something goes seriously wrong. Your liver. Right now, for a significant percentage of people watching this, the liver is accumulating fat. Not because of alcohol, not because of any dramatic dietary failure, but because of the quiet, cumulative, completely normalized patterns of modern eating and living that have made fatty liver disease the most common liver condition in the world, affecting roughly 1 in 4 adults globally, most of whom have no idea it is happening. And here is what nobody tells you clearly enough. Liver fat and body fat are not separate problems. They are the same problem wearing 2 different faces. Fix one and you begin fixing the other. And that is exactly what today is about. The connection between liver fat and weight gain is something most people have never had explained to them in a way that actually makes sense. And that gap in understanding is one of the main reasons people keep trying to lose weight without addressing the organ that is most responsible for determining whether they succeed. Your liver is the metabolic command center of your body. It regulates blood sugar, processes fat, produces cholesterol, filters toxins, manages hormones, and controls the signals that tell your body whether to store energy or burn it. When your liver accumulates fat, its ability to perform all of those functions becomes compromised. Insulin resistance develops. Fat burning slows. The hormonal signals that regulate appetite and energy metabolism become distorted. And you find yourself in a situation where your body is fighting against every effort you make to lose weight, not because you lack discipline, but because the organ responsible for making weight loss biologically possible is struggling under a burden it was never designed to carry. Understanding this changes everything about how you approach the problem. There are 5 specific interventions, backed by real and compelling science, that target liver fat and body weight simultaneously through mechanisms that most people have never heard explained clearly. Each one works differently. Each one addresses a different aspect of the metabolic dysfunction that connects fatty liver to weight gain. And before we get through all 5, I need you to hold on to something I am about to tell you, because it involves the last intervention on this list, and it is the one that most people dismiss as too simple to be scientifically significant. When I tell you what the research has actually found about this particular intervention and its effect on liver fat specifically, most people genuinely cannot believe it was available to them the whole time. We will get there. But first, the foundation. The first intervention is intermittent fasting, and I want to be precise about this because the conversation around intermittent fasting has become so noisy and so crowded with opinion that the actual biology has gotten buried underneath it. Intermittent fasting is not a diet. It is a timing strategy, and what it does to the liver is distinct from anything that calorie restriction alone can achieve. When you extend the period between your last meal at night and your first meal the following day, something called hepatic autophagy increases. Autophagy, as we have discussed in other contexts, is your body's cellular cleaning process. In the liver specifically, autophagy clears out accumulated fat droplets, damaged organelles, and dysfunctional cellular debris that contribute directly to fatty liver disease and impaired metabolic function. Studies have shown that a fasting window of 14 to 16 hours consistently reduces liver fat content measurably, independently of total calorie intake. This means that 2 people eating the same number of calories can have dramatically different liver fat outcomes based purely on when they eat. The liver gets its most intensive repair and fat clearing work done during the fasted state, particularly in the hours between 12 and 16 hours after your last meal. Every time you push breakfast back by an hour or move dinner forward by an hour, you are giving your liver more time to do the work it cannot do while it is busy processing food. That is not a metaphor. That is documented, measurable hepatic biology. The second intervention is green tea, and the specific mechanism here is worth understanding in detail because it goes far beyond general antioxidant benefits. Green tea contains a compound called EGCG, epigallocatechin galate, which has a specific and documented effect on a process called hepatic lipogenesis, which is the process by which your liver converts excess carbohydrates and sugar into fat. EGCG inhibits the enzymes involved in this conversion, literally slowing down the rate at which your liver manufactures and stores fat. Multiple clinical trials have demonstrated that regular green tea consumption reduces liver enzyme levels, decreases liver fat content as measured by imaging studies, and improves insulin sensitivity in the liver tissue itself. One particularly significant study found that participants who consumed green tea extract for 12 weeks showed a measurable reduction in liver fat independent of any changes in diet or exercise. The catechins in green tea also reduce oxidative stress in liver cells, protecting them from the inflammatory damage that progresses fatty liver from a manageable condition to a serious one. 3 to 4 cups of brewed green tea daily provides a meaningful therapeutic dose of these compounds. Not green tea flavored products, not bottled sweetened tea, but actual brewed green tea where the catechin content is intact and active. The difference matters more than most people realize. The third intervention is coffee, and this is the one that surprises people every single time because coffee has spent so many years being discussed primarily in terms of its risks that most people are completely unaware of the extraordinary volume of research showing its protective effects on the liver specifically. The evidence here is not preliminary or tentative. It is robust, replicated across multiple large population studies, and consistent enough that hepatologists, liver specialists, now routinely discuss coffee intake with their patients. Regular coffee consumption, specifically 2 to 3 cups of caffeinated coffee daily, is associated with significantly lower rates of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, slower progression of existing liver disease, lower liver enzyme levels, and reduced risk of liver cirrhosis and liver cancer. The mechanisms are multiple. Coffee contains hundreds of bioactive compounds beyond caffeine, including chlorogenic acids, diterpenes, and trigonelline that collectively reduce hepatic inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity in liver tissue, and activate detoxification pathways within liver cells. Cafestol and Coel, compounds found in unfiltered coffee, have specific anti-inflammatory effects within the liver that filtered coffee partially loses. But even filtered coffee retains enough of the protective compounds to produce measurable hepatic benefits. For people who already drink coffee every morning, this is not a new habit to build. It is a habit you are already doing that is protecting your liver. And the only question is whether you are drinking it in a form that preserves those benefits, meaning without large amounts of added sugar or artificial creamers that work directly against the liver health you are trying to support. The fourth intervention is exercise, and the research on what specific types of exercise do to liver fat has produced findings that are more precise and more actionable than the general advice to simply move more. Both aerobic exercise and resistance training reduce liver fat, but they do so through different mechanisms, and the combination produces effects greater than either alone. Aerobic exercise, meaning sustained cardiovascular activity like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming, increases the rate at which the liver releases fatty acids to be burned as fuel during the activity. It also improves insulin sensitivity systemically, reducing the amount of glucose that arrives at the liver in excess and gets converted to fat. Resistance training, meaning weightlifting or bodyweight exercises that build muscle mass, creates metabolically active tissue that draws glucose out of the bloodstream continuously, reducing the substrate load that the liver would otherwise have to process and store. Studies specifically measuring liver fat content before and after exercise interventions have found that as little as 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise per week, combined with 2 resistance training sessions, produces significant reductions in hepatic fat content within 8 to 12 weeks, even without changes in body weight. That last point is critical. The liver fat reduces before the scale meaningfully moves, which means exercise is doing something metabolically specific and beneficial for your liver, independent of whatever is happening with your overall weight. And now the fifth intervention, the one I told you to hold on to, the one that most people dismiss because it sounds too passive, too simple, too much like something a doctor says at the end of an appointment almost as an afterthought: sleep. Specifically, a consistent sleep schedule with adequate duration, and what the research has found about its effect on liver fat is something that stopped researchers in their tracks when the data first emerged. Circadian rhythm disruption, which is what happens when your sleep and wake times are irregular, when you stay up late some nights and try to compensate on others, when your body never quite knows when it is supposed to be awake and when it is supposed to be resting, directly dysregulates the metabolic activity of the liver. The liver operates on a circadian clock. It has specific windows during which it is most efficient at burning fat, clearing toxins, managing glucose, and performing the repair functions that keep it healthy. When your sleep schedule is irregular, that internal clock becomes desynchronized from the external world, and the liver's metabolic functions shift in ways that promote fat accumulation, increase inflammatory activity, and impair the insulin signaling that connects liver function to body weight. Studies have shown that people with irregular sleep schedules have significantly higher rates of fatty liver disease than people who sleep the same hours but at consistent, regular times. It is not just how long you sleep, it is the regularity of when you sleep. A consistent bedtime and wake time, maintained even on weekends, is one of the most powerful things you can do to support liver metabolic health, and almost nobody is talking about it in this context. Intermittent fasting, green tea, coffee, exercise, and sleep. 5 interventions, 5 different biological mechanisms, all converging on the same outcome. A liver that is clearing fat instead of storing it, and a metabolism that is finally working with you instead of quietly working against everything you are trying to do. The weight that feels stubborn, the progress that feels impossible, the results that never seem to match the effort, these are often symptoms of a liver that has been overlooked. When you address the liver, everything else begins to shift. So here is the question I want you to answer honestly in the comments, because your answer matters more than you might think. Of these 5 interventions, which one are you currently doing, and which one have you been completely overlooking without realizing it was connected to your weight and your liver at the same time? Tell me below. Because sometimes reading someone else's answer is exactly what it takes to make you finally start.